Hey guys, Cap here. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the American M24 Chaffee light tank. Before we get going here, we'll talk a little bit about why my barracks has decided to... Oh, weird. Talk a little bit about its competition. So, at Tier 5... Let's go over American tree here. You have to go through the M3 and M5 Stuart. The M5 Stuart, I absolutely hated driving. I did not like using the derp gun on it. It just was not my thing. So you have to suffer through about 55,000 experience to get the Chaffee, which is a lot more than any other Tier 5 tank. But once you do, it's not too bad. So, the other tanks that you want to take into account at Tier 5 that are comparable to this thing are the Leopard. And we'll just put him over here. And there isn't anything really that comparable at Tier 5 for the Russians. There's the T-50, but I consider that the M25 to be a closer rival to the Chaffee than the T-50. The only other tank that I would kind of throw into this mix as well is the 5916, the Chinese tank. So what we'll do, go back to the garage. I'm gonna separate these windows out. You can say who's who in the zoo. So if we take a look at the hit points, I obviously have the extra turret on this, so I got about 50 extra than some of these other tanks do. But hit point wise, we got the leg up on the Leopard. The weight of this tank is 19 tons. My tank is completely clipped out with everything. And out of all the tanks here, the only tank that's lighter is the Chinese one. But that's without some of the modules on it and stuff. So as far as weight goes, this thing's very comparable to every other light tank in the game. It accelerates extremely well. It also has a 500 horsepower engine compared to some of the other guys here. The MT25, its best engine is 600 horsepower. I assume the 5916's engine is somewhere around 500 to 600. So engine power wise, it's got a leg up on the Leopard as well. Because the Leopard I don't think has a 500 horsepower engine as its top engine. So we're looking at top speed is where this tank isn't quite as strong. It only goes 56. If you look at the MT25, it can do 72. I've driven on the test server and I didn't find it to be as nippy or as fast as the Chaffee to accelerate, but I guess its top speed is higher. The top speed is also higher on the 5916 and it's also higher on the Leopard. So it loses out about 5 kilometers per hour top speed, but that's not really a big deal. Traverse speed's 46, which is kind of like, it's more in the top end. The 5916's got 52, which is comparable. It's pretty close. And the MT25 has 44. So that'll probably go to 46 or something when you get the tracks. So it kind of falls in pretty competitively with these. It's a lot better than the Leopard at Tier 5. None of these tanks have good armor. I guess the most up-armored tank here is the Leopard, but that's still not going to stop you from getting murderized by anything from Tier 8 or Tier 10, which is stuff that you'll run into with pretty much all these tanks. So we're just going to ignore the armor and move on to the guns. The M25 has a couple guns you can use, which is like the ZIS-4 from the T-34 basically, and some automatic clip-loaded autoloader gun, which is really only useful, I think, for getting in behind people or killing artillery with, so I wouldn't really consider that gun. The 5916 also gets a weird autoloader gun sort of similar to that, but it has only like 90-something penetration, so again, you have to flank. You can't shoot anyone from the front. And the Leopard, he gets the same gun as the Lux, and it's about 90-something pen, and if you can get beside people and stuff, like, you can just murder the hell out of people up close, but it's also another drum-loaded gun as far as the guns go. On the other tanks, this tank, the Chaffee, He's got a normal gun. And he does about 139 for pen. I'll just load her up here. Dunk. Okay, 137. I was off by 2. So 76mm gun, 18 rounds per minute, 137 penetration, which is really pretty decent for a light tank. If you load in premium rounds, you're at 185. You can start penetrating certain tanks from the front, which is really nice. One thing you're never going to get from a light tank is a whole ton of damage, so you're only going to get 115. It drops down to 110 if you shoot premium rounds, and 185 for HE. 0.39 accuracy isn't too bad. It's better than most of the accuracy of these guns, except for the ZIS-4 on the MT25. And this gun, the gun on the auto gun, which is probably the gun you want to use, I suppose, on this tank. Accuracy isn't great either. I think it's like 0.40, 0.41. So actually wise 0.39 isn't too terrible. I haven't found it's a really big problem. I've been able to snipe people pretty well with it, drop back. The aiming time is where this thing is freaking awesome. We're just going to close the rest of the windows here. You can pop up, aim things down like a Hellcat, and then pop back. It's really nice to be able to have such a low aiming time. And that's one of the huge advantages of this tank. One of the other things that's nice is the turret traverse is quite quick. It is 39. You have no trouble having your turret keep up with whatever you're shooting at. And another huge perk is 400 view range, so you'll be able to see at least as far as the tier 10 tanks that you'll be going up against, because they have a 5-tier advantage on you. So at least you don't have that problem. Your signal range is also good because you have a tier 10 radio, so you're at 745. So you're not lagging in the radio department. You've got a great gun. You've got great speed, good mobility, basically zero armor. You could fight tier 3 tanks maybe, but you'll never see tier 3 tanks. So, would I recommend this tank over just about every other scout tank in the game, other than maybe the French autoloaders, which they're tiers higher, like the AMX 75, I think that one's tier 6. I guess that would be comparable as well to this tank. I would still say that the Chaffee is in the top 2 or 3 of the light tanks, in my opinion. Just the combination of all the things that it can do with its aim time and its great gun depression, which is -10 plus 15, by the way, which is a lot better than the 59-16, which has got like -5. So you can poke over hills and you can aim down quite a lot, and you can shoot up quite well as well. I would say that this thing's better than the Leopard. I'd say it's better than the 59-16, and probably better than the MT25. All the elements of this tank all put together are really great. Looking at my modules here, I've taken a murder setup as opposed to a passive scouting setup. So I prefer not to suicide scout. I like to, if I'm in a really higher tier battle, I will try and get into a bush and scout for artillery in my team. But some maps don't really afford you that very well. So I will wait sometimes until the battle has developed quite a bit and there aren't as many tanks running around in such small maps. And then I will go out and I will try and kill people, so I will be an active attack scout. And to that end, I have coated optics because I would like to move a lot in this tank and I don't have time to sit down and put up my binos. So I use this as opposed to the binoculars. These guys here. I have also mounted a vertical stabilizer, so I have way better accuracy during turret rotation and during movement, which is really useful for when you're cresting hill, you want to take a shot, you want to pop back down. That's quite useful. I'm also running vents on this, but I'm noticing something weird. It's saying +5 to all crew skills, but previously to this, it would give me a +5 to, so my commander would be at 105. What I've noticed is that it doesn't do that anymore on any of my light tanks. But if I go to my medium tanks, and I go here, it says +5 to all crew skills, it'll add a +5. I'll just pop my commander out of here, put him in here. And when I mouse over him, you can see that I'm at 100 +5 if I'm in a medium tank. So I don't know if they've nerfed the vents or it's a bug for the scout tanks, but I don't have 105 on my guys anymore, and I'm kind of wondering why. So honestly, if I'm not getting if my commander isn't at 105 anymore, I'm going to take the vents off of this, and I'm going to put on a gun rammer so I can load faster. Or I would put on a wet ammo rack, because this thing is prone to getting ammo racked, because when you get hit, the rounds go straight through. And I have been ammo racked multiple times in this tank, so you definitely want to carry a repair kit to repair that if you get hit, or you want to get a wet ammo rack. Other than that, I would maybe get a rammer to load faster. But I mean, 18 rounds per minute is still quite quick, so it's questionable whether you need that or not. I take 40 rounds, normal AP rounds, 12 APCR rounds, and 5 HE rounds. I take a regular loadout for the first two here, small repair kit, small first aid kit, because people do die in this tank if you get hit. And instead of a fire extinguisher, I haven't found it gets lit on fire very much. I take 100 octane gas, and it gives me better engine power, so I accelerate better and my turret turns faster. And honestly, this tank, I don't really play it to make credits and stuff. I play it just for fun. And the more speed you can get faster, the better with this thing to get out of trouble. So looking at the crew for this guy, this is a crew from my M5. I don't have them at 100% yet. This thing, I don't think it gets a multiplier that's as big for it being a light tank. I've chugged along on this tank for quite a while here, and if you look at my Chaffee stats, wherever you are, Chaffee, where are you? There you are. I've done 76 battles in this guy, and I'm still not to 100. I have a 60.53 win rate. I average, well, maximum experience per battle is almost 2,000. I've destroyed 5 tanks in one battle with this thing once. Got 1.22 destruction ratio, so I've killed more than I've died. And I've definitely put out more damage than I've taken. Not by a huge amount. And my average scores here, I average about 800 experience. And spot about 2.2 tanks a game, which probably isn't very good. I don't have 6th sense, so sometimes it's a little bit iffy for doing bush scouting when you don't know if you've ever been seen. So stats-wise, that's kind of where I'm at. I do have my mastery badge in this tank. Looking at the skills for these guys, I wish I had 6th sense at 100%, but I don't. So I'm using camouflage till I get to 100, then I'm going to spend 100 gold or 50 gold if I can get it in a day where it's not as expensive to convert it to 6th sense, because that is ultimate importance on this guy. I've taken snapshot, so I have better accuracy during turret rotation because I like to shoot in the move. I have off-road driving, so I don't slow down on the move. And situational awareness, so I can see a little bit further on this tank. It's about, well, on every tank it's 3%. So 3% of 400 is, well, 3 times 4 is 12. So we're looking at about 412 plus my coated optics. So I can see around 320, 420, 440 pretty much all times with this tank because of my coated optics. Actually, no. So it's 440, so it's 50. So well, I can see about 450 meters with this tank because the binos wouldn't let me go past 500 anyway, unless I had the recon skill so I could see further. So that's what I've taken with this, and I will get camouflage on it after that, or I will get safe stowage on. After I get camo on my loader, I will get safe stowage because I need everything I can get to prevent this thing from getting ammo racked. So that's about it for the garage review. I know it was a little bit longer, but I wanted to compare it to some of its other scout tank comparables. I guess if we want to pop over to the French line here, we can take a quick look at this guy. See how he compares in. Again, this is a tier 6 tank, so he's going to have more hit points. Very, very light though. Engine power's down, but it's only 12 tons. Does have okay armor, 50. It's twice as much as the Chaffee. Doesn't turn anywhere near as nice. 36 is not anywhere near as good as 46. 60 top speed, so it's a little bit quicker. And it's got one of those autoloader guns, but its penetration is not probably anywhere near as good as the Chaffee. Rate of fire seems to be pretty good. The traverse is a little bit better. Not by a whole ton, but it 39 is, you're not going to have any problems anyway, so 44 is not, I don't know. It's not a really big benefit. 380 view range is inferior to the Chaffee, and the signal range, well, this will probably actually go up to 390 or 400 once you upgrade the turret, if it has an upgraded turret. If not, then 380 is inferior. And 290 for signal range, that'll probably get upgraded to somewhere around 600 or 700. So without further ado, we will jump into some of my replays. Alright, here we go. This is the first Chaffee battle. We're on Severgorsk. And I'm heading up to the top of this hill here. Just gonna speed her up till I get up here. And I'm gonna go try and do a little bit of scouting. See what I can see through Mr. Bush. Doesn't appear to be a lot. Except the artillery. How could I not shoot at the artillery?
Enemy is hit.
And this is one of the mangled replays.
Penetration.
Playing an 8.7 replay in 8.8, but for some reason it's showing showing me going into this view.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
It's partially working now. And then I take some shots, but they all miss. Ha ha ha. So I'm going to pull back and go around the side of this rock and wait for my team to give me a little bit of support. As you can see, we got a KV2 up here, we got a jumbo, KV3 covering off this side. And I pop up over here.
Enemy armor is damaged.
These replays are so funny. Put one shot into that guy. And then I take one from the stupid SU-100 M1. And our Cromwell is just fixating here, and he's going to get blasted.
Bounced off.
So that one bounced. And instead of trying to shoot him and do damage to him, now I've got to try and concentrate on maybe trying to track him. But our Cromwell already bit the dust. He should have paid attention. So now that I know that they're going to try and crest this hill here, I am going to wait.
Ricochet.
And
Critical hit.
I'm just shooting his tracks now. I'm just trying to blow his tracks
Bounced
off.
off.
There we go. We've got his tracks off. So now I can concentrate on shooting him. So I shoot him one in the turret.
Enemy is hit. We just dinged him. Ricochet. Enemy armor is hit.
So I'm just keeping him tracked here.
Penetration.
And just shooting him over and over again.
Ricochet.
And now he's finally decided to start aiming at me. But he's still sitting there tracked. And now he's dead.
Enemy is hit.
T-49 took him out.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So the SU-100 pulls up there. And the VK pulls up there. So I track the VK as well.
Enemy is hit.
And I'm just going to keep track shooting him. Going
Enemy
over again.
armor is destroyed.
So he's down. And as you can see through my weirdo view, I got a guy who's pegged. He's just sitting there. So I'm just telling him, come up. I just killed two of your friends. So at this point, I think the best thing I can do is go around him. So I drive up on the top of the hill here. And the camera's gone all wonky. And he's decided to try and come around me, but that's no good for him.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So put 2 into him, paste him, that's 3 kills down.
Penetration.
Spot an AT-25. So I take some shots at him.
We just dinged him.
I think one of those went in, so not too bad. And I decided to skip a point here where I was just driving on the side of the mountain. And coming over here, I managed to spot the TOG. So I'm going to come up around him. Unfortunately, now I'm about a 1-shot. And I should have been a lot more careful. But I was like, I'm just going to shoot this
Enemy
guy.
is hit.
So I shoot him once in the turret,
Enemy armor is hit.
twice in the turret. And I really should have backed off more. And he was still aiming at me.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
And that was the end of the Chaffee. It was a bit dumb for me to come up and do that, but oh well. We'd pretty much won the game, and I'd done quite a lot of damage. I think I did around 1,600 damage in that game. Cool, so here we go. We're on steps. And it liked to play the banging sounds because half my sounds don't work in my replays from 8.7. So you'll just have to do without. So I'm just cruising along. Cruising along. And this is a really nice matchup for the Chaffee because there's only tier 7 tanks. And tier 7 tanks is good. I'm being pretty aggressive here. I mean, I'm driven past halfway through the map. I don't know if I've been spotted yet. So I'm just going to stay here for a little bit and then pop out into the bush. And I spot this dude. Too bad no one's shooting at him.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So I shoot at him because evidently my team is a little bit incompetent. That Stug could have shot him the whole time there. Why did you not shoot? Oh, just hang out here. I'm gonna pop back into the bush. I have to play more careful.
Enemy is hit.
Oh, we got an M6 coming this way. Oh, that's not good. But luckily we got a Stug back there who's shooting at him. And I don't think he's paying attention to me. But now he's dead. He's been killed by our Hellcat. So that's 2 tanks that I've spotted that I have managed to help get killed. And back in our base you can see there's an ELC AMX causing havoc. He's shooting our guys. And a Chaffee. And he killed our Stug.
Enemy armor is hit.
But I've got to worry about this TOG
Bounced off.
who knows I'm here.
Enemy is hit.
So I'm just popping out and taking shots
Enemy armor is damaged.
because I don't think he can shoot as accurate on the move
Enemy
as I
is
can.
hit.
So I'm able to pop out, shoot, pop out, shoot. Now I'm trying to drop off the radar because if he's gone invisible to me, then I'm invisible to him. So I'm just going to keep him lit up because I'm hoping that our Hellcat will be shooting at him by now, but he's not. I don't know what he was aiming at. Well, I got shot again.
Penetration.
Take one more shot. Our Hellcat's getting engaged by a KV-1. And now those other scouts. In hindsight, I probably should have gone and engaged those other scouts. But I kind of got locked down by dealing with this TOG here. So now I'm behind this bush, so I should be able to spot him before he can see me. But he might proxy spot me, so I gotta be careful. I'm just waiting because I know he's gonna get closer and closer. So I'm like, where is this guy? Okay, there he is. So I know he's there. Take a shot at him. just to annoy him. And I'm pretty sure he's not very happy at this point because I've reduced him to about half his health. And the Hellcat should start shooting him pretty quick here. So I spotted him again.
Enemy is hit.
Give him one more shot. Because I can pop out and shoot. This is a really bad place for the TOG to be.
Track hit. Enemy armor is damaged.
And now I'm just going to try and outrun his turret.
Got him.
And a combined shot with me and the Hellcat took him out. But now I've got a Cromwell that's come after me. But I can shoot on the move a lot better than he can because I got a vertical stabilizer and I got snapshot. So I managed to take him out. And now I've just got free reign of driving all the way over here. Let's see who else I can kill. Let's see. Oh, the shots went to the front. I just want to pop over here and see who's capping. Because the whole rest of my team is not over here. So we spotted VK. I can penetrate him no problem.
Enemy armor is hit.
So I pop one into him. And the Hellcat, I don't think he's quite going. Oh, he does have an angle on him. He puts one into him.
Penetration.
I pop up, put one into him. Pop again.
Ricochet.
That one bounces though. So you can see that you can pop up and shoot with this tank really easy. Now he's decided, I'm going to try and get this Chaffee. But there is a Hellcat over there. He must have forgotten. Yeah. So I pretty much just got that guy killed because he was fixating on me. So back over in here, there's also KV-1S. Whoa, and a 25-2. And if I just keep these guys spotted, our Hellcat can just pound away on them. So I pop out just to keep him spotted. I'm going to take a quick shot. Oh, but he dies.
Enemy is hit.
So I'll shoot the KV-1S instead, and he's not aiming at me. So take another shot at him. That was a pretty good game. I managed to do well over 1,000 damage. I don't have the slides or anything, and I don't have the Watt replay stuff set up to load in that other stuff and talk my way through all the damage that I've done. But as you can see, I did easily over 1,000 damage. Pretty easy in this tank, shooting up that TOG. And I got a shot into the M6. I got a couple shots into that VK. Shot into that guy. So this tank, this is how I like to play this tank. I like to play a little bit more active attack scout. Okay, here we are on Prohorovka. I'm heading up to the middle to see what I can find. Pop up. There's an MT25 over there.
Enemy is hit.
It's a really, really, really weak shot.
Enemy armor is hit.
But that shot was pretty good. So I nailed him a couple times, proving that the Chaffee is superior to the MT25. Yeah, I don't know. I played the MT25 about 3 or 4 times on the test server, fully decked out, and it never felt as fast or as responsive as this thing. This replay and the previous 2 replays were also the Chaffee without its top engine. I didn't get the engine was a fair bit to get to unlock on this tank. So this isn't even its full range of speed and agility. And this is also previous to me having my vertical stabilizer and a couple other things on it. I actually have it set up right now with my binos and my camo net. So I'm just trying to patrol a little bit here. Since I don't have 6th Sense, I can't be too crazy with how I pop up because I know there's a Dicker Max, there's a TOG back there. There's a whole crap load of tanks that are waiting for me to pop up, and I don't feel like dying. So popping up there, I don't spot anything. So I'm going to go over into the middle part over here for a little bit. And oh, look, the Chaffee's best friend, TOG. pretty sure there's nothing else over here. So I'm just going to unload on this guy.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So that was a good 400 or 500 damage. And the M24 decides, I'm going to come over and try and avenge you. But all he does is succeed in knocking over a tree and getting shot. So let's see what we can find over here. There's an MT25 and the VK 3001P. Type 58's getting hit. And they finally take out that MT25. The Egg Panther takes him out. It's 2 kills for him. And the Tog pops back up, so I think I should go send him a love letter. In the form of my gun.
Penetration. Enemy armor is hit.
Nice. Couple shots from me. And already dropped a shell on his head. Yeah, right straight ahead, there's a Panzer 38 NA, and there's a Leopard up there. But I also spot an IS on the hill, so I want to try and put some shots onto him.
Enemy is hit.
Yeah, so that shot went in.
Bounced off.
But there's a Dicker Max, and they don't have very good armor either. So I critical hit him.
Penetration. Critical hit.
So I've done a little bit of damage to that guy, and hopefully critically busted some stuff on his tank. And I think he was tracked, so I kept shooting there for a while. And as of right now, things aren't looking super great. We're down. We only have 6 tanks left. They have 9 left.
Knocked out.
Now they have 8 left. Because I just killed the Dicker Max. And spot the Panzer NA right there. So I'm just going to drive up.
Penetration.
Shoot
the
him.
loader's hit. He's moving slowly.
So then I got nailed by this stupid little Leopard that was sitting in the middle there, and he killed my loader. So I heal my loader. And there's just the IS left over there, so I want to try and get a shot at him.
Got him.
That shot went in. I must have got him in the side. So he's dead. And I want to try and get that Leopard because he was shooting me.
One of our trucks is damaged. We've lost some ammo, but at least it didn't explode.
So there's a T-34 camping somewhere down back in there or up over here. And yeah, he was somewhere in the town here. And that spelled the end of my ammo rack. And I didn't notice right away that it actually was damaged.
Enemy is hit.
Or I probably could have shot a lot faster here. A bit of a stupid play on my part. And yeah, that mistake by me there pretty much got my teammate killed because I didn't fix my ammo rack quickly enough. So now I'm just going to drop back a little bit. I've got 2 kills. In this game I actually did about 2,700 damage in total, which is really quite good for a Chaffee. And the T-49 just goes completely crazy here. Goes flying over the cliff, completely misses. And yeah. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah. So things aren't looking as bad now. We're actually winning now. And I spot the Leopard.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
And I put one at him, take him out of the game. And it's our VK 2801 versus the Churchill over there. I don't know what he's trying to achieve. Maybe the Churchill's down in a vulnerable position or something. So now I know that there's a Hellcat and a Churchill left, and I bet the Hellcat is hiding somewhere over on that hill. So I'm not going to get too crazy here. I want to expose the least amount of my tank as possible. And I don't have great shots at that Churchill. And our T-29 is just content with sitting on top of the hill here. So the best thing I can do at this point now is try and put cap pressure on them. And I did get enough shot there to do that. And I still haven't fixed my ammo rack. I don't know. What am I doing? And the T-29 is up there doing nothing. Oh, he spotted our Hellcat. Do you think that the T-29 could take out a Hellcat? So I'm going to try and get side shots on him. And I miss. And he's killing our T-29, who at this point I think is maybe even AFK. And sure enough, yeah, he killed our T-29. Which is awesome. And I don't have very good shots from behind these buildings, so I gotta try and get out into the open so I can shoot at this Hellcat. And I missed again. And I really should have fixed my ammo rack. That really probably caused me a lot more pain in this game than is really necessary. So now I know that the Hellcat is in the cap circle. And how Hellcats are, they're mostly invisible most of the time. They can be like 300 meters away from you in the middle of a field and they'll still be invisible. So, yeah. I'm kind of not really sure what I should do right now. I'm like, is the Hellcat going to come after me? Should I go after the Hellcat? I could just sit in the bush. But I decide I might as well go and try and spot the Hellcat. So there he is there. And hopefully our artillery was aiming this way now. And I'm a one shot for him. I have to shoot him 4 times to kill him at least. And he drives forward enough.
We're done for. Yeah. Everyone get out.
That was really bad play by me, but the artillery ended up blasting him and we ended up winning the game. And that followed in the tradition of me choking at the end of the game for the second time in a row after that TOG game. And I've since gotten a lot better at finishing games. This is kind of earlier on in my Chaffee career. It wasn't fully decked out. I didn't have 100% crew. And after that, I learned to fix my ammo rack, it's always a good idea. Okay, this is going to be the last concluding video for the Chaffee. And this is what the Chaffee looks like with its real turret. The weird bulbous looking abomination turret. I don't know if it's abomination, but it's kind of dorky looking, the Chaffee turret, the 2nd gen turret. I mean, I've seen the M24 Chaffee in real life, and it looks pretty neat. I actually quite like it. It has a really cool profile. But the upgraded turret looks kind of odd. I mean, it gives you 400 view range. I can't take it off unless they plan on taking it off and making this one have 400 view range. But this is what the regular turret looks like. And I actually quite prefer the Chaffee when it looks like this as opposed to its big fat turret. But you also can't mount the good gun on this turret either. So you're kind of stuck with using the big fat turret. So what do I think about the Chaffee? I think it's freaking awesome. Like, now that I have all the modules upgraded on it, and in everything. Like, plus points for it, fantastic agility. Its view range is awesome at 400. The gun is great. It has great pen. It has 180 with its APCR rounds. The gun depression is -10 +15, so you can poke over hills and not expose a lot of your tank, which is really, really nice. The radio is good. Yeah, just everything about the tank is fantastic. I mean, it's a scout tank. It's not going to have armor. Don't pretend like it does. And you can do a great things in this tank. Some of the downsides of it, speed limit is maybe quite as high as some of the other light tanks, but it accelerates so good that it kind of makes up for that for me in my eyes. Obviously, no armor, and it is prone to getting ammo racked. I've been ammo racked multiple times in this tank, so maybe it pays to get safe stowage and wet ammo rack in it. I mean, the best thing to do in a light scout tank is not to get hit anyway. So if you can avoid getting hit, don't get hit. Obviously, people might even be firing HE rounds at you, so you do have to be very, very careful. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a fantastic tank, and I totally recommend it if you're willing to slog through at least 50 to 70 games in the M5, getting pretty good games, or just running it through your doubles, then this is really, really worth it. If you like driving light tanks anyway. What I do understand is that they may make the Walker Bulldog at some point, which would be a tier 6 American light tank. And I think that would be really cool too. But we haven't seen that happen quite yet. And that's going to conclude this video. And if you want to get the Chaffee, definitely recommended. A lot of fun. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos, you can subscribe, because I'll be putting out more videos all the time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.